Chapter 975 Kinemon's Plan.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Podcast. I'm the best guy ever, and this is Gibbontake.
Hey guys, it's been a while. Now we're no longer on the stormy shores, freezing our butts off. We're in...
Fucking Den visual dial got fucked, and it's gone. We need to buy another one, so please donate to our Patreon so we can buy a new visual snail.
Ding dang old snail, yeah.
That's our new Patreon goal, but not really. But what we've got for you today is chapter 975. We are 25 chapters away from the big 3 zeros, and it's called Kinemon's Plan. How intriguing. But first, a cover page, if you will.
Yes, so, Mr. I forget his name, has saved what is presumed
Gotti.
Chiffon, but is actually someone who doesn't know who he is. Who could it be? It's Lola.
Who could it be? As suspected, this is definitely Lola. Or maybe it's Mr. 2 transformed into Lola because they became best friends off screen. Equally likely. Or someone with the Logia power disguised as Lola. Because they're also best friends.
What would the Logia power be? The Lola fruit?
The Lola fruit. That's exactly right. Which the human fruit model Lola. There's one for everybody. How fun. Well, looks like they found Lola. Probably. Won't that be fun for everybody in this riveting arc that's happening at the beginning of every chapter. All right. That's chapter 23, by the way, of that. I wonder how many more until it ends. You want to make a bet? How many chapters do you think until it's done? I'm going to say 28. I'm going to say 28.
There's going to be like, hey, wait a minute. Chiffon's here and Lola's here. That's going to be one. Yep. Then it's going to be like, oh my god, that means that Lola, we found her.
Yep.
And then after that, maybe
have like
one
a reunion page.
There'll be like, reunion, like 4 more chapters.
And then hopefully the one page at the end that's actually interesting for some reason that we don't expect.
Where Shanks dies off to the side.
Where Reverie explodes and everyone's dead.
They just look up and like the entire red line is like split in half. Like, I wonder what happened over there.
Oh, and you see like Sabo did the fusion dance with Shanks and has become the uber anti-world government man.
Shabo.
How exciting. Based Shabo using Gear 4th Monkey God mode at all times. Dragon attack. One sword power. One arm power, I mean. How fun. How fun.
Yes.
Zoro could definitely hold a sword with his penis. In the urethra, as we've discussed previously. That's my
Have
point.
we discussed previously?
Shanks could do the same. I'm pretty sure he could upgrade to 4-sword style if he had the strength of will. Which I believe he does. I believe in Zoro. That's why he has trouble fighting women, because when he gets an erection, he can't hold the sword. He can't coil his dick around. That's why he has such trouble.
Yeah, the art of 4 swords is that like when
more
you
like
have
4 skin, if you know what I'm saying.
if you have the one in your urethra, in order to move it around, you have to like rapidly gain and lose boners in order to swing it. But when there's women around, it's always boner on all the time.
Totally invalidates it. So, be on the lookout for 4 swords, everybody. Link's Awakening. All right, chapter has begun. What's going on in this chapter, Gib?
All right, so here's Shinobu. She's been gotten by snakes, presumably drawn by Kanjuro.
How sexual of her.
Yes, so, Kanjuro's like looking, he's confused. How did pirates be here? I thought everyone was fucking killed and destroyed.
We thought Luffy was dead, but what?
We thought Luffy was dead because of course he would have been, but of course not actually, because Frankie's here to explain that the ship is really strong. And it's made of atom wood.
Okay. So, this explanation is, so yes, we all saw an explosion happen on the Sunny, but now Frankie's like, that was a pussy bitch explosion. The ship is made of atom wood, it's just too strong, but they did have to do some repair work, they had to fix the sails and whatnot. How do you feel about this as a justification? I'm fine with it. It's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the atom wood was a big, it's the strongest wood ever, and so far it has definitely saved them from being exploded
You know, I kind of want to check back originally. Look, they can say it's the strongest wood. Okay, that's fine. I thought they had said that the main strength of Atom wood was that it, like, as opposed to the Mary, which was made of normal wood and got a crack in its whatever that board is in the very center. Like the Atom wood could heal. It could restore itself when broken. In fact, let me just Google this shit real quick.
The stern, the spine, something.
Whatever the fuck that thing's called. It's sold on the black market because of its value. Oro Jackson, 1,000 centimeters. It's capable of withstanding cannonballs and gunfire. Okay, apparently it's also really strong. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, I always assumed it was strong. It had like slight regenerative abilities as well. I feel like, but yeah, like
I don't even see that mentioned on here.
Well, I remember that.
Maybe I'm making that up in my head. I don't know.
The point is,
okay, well,
it's strange how this doesn't come up when the ship was completely exploded, destroyed, decimated at Big Mom when they were trying to escape. Remember that one panel? It was completely destroyed and.
Well, that didn't need to come up because that actually did not happen at all and was a total misdirection. So
didn't happen at all. In what way?
Well,
there was an explosion.
What happened was that the big Watatsumi guy just like grabbed the ship and pulled it underwater, and it was a complete not actually exploded.
Okay,
remember that? Yeah. How fun! How exciting! Okay, so whatever.
Basically, the wood is made of Pedro wood, and that's why it withstood the blast.
It loves explosion. Definitely alive, just like Pedro. So our boy Kanjuro, hashtag red pilled, is very upset. It did not work. That's too bad. I feel for him. I'm on his side.
We can see here a few people got new costumes for this final thing. Frankie's got...
Oh, Luffy's looking great.
Luffy's got a cool new coat and cape.
Is this
combo.
The first time in the series he's worn a cool captain coat? Or I think it's technically a cape. There are no sleeves in that.
Well, it's a cape. I think there was a time back when he
and ignoring movies and stuff where he wears that. Kind of stuff.
Yeah. But like when Jinbei he said, "Hey, join my crew." Like when he was escaping from Big Mom, like you can go and fight Big Mom now, but you're on my crew or whatever. He was wearing some sort of cape then, I think, but I don't know whether that was just sort of like a. You know,
it might have been like a blanket though, because he had just fought Katakuri.
Yeah, the way he looked, the way he was posed with it, made it look like a cool captain cape, but it wasn't actually, I think. And now it's a real one.
Well, this is the most Chad he's ever looked in the main series, basically, and it's an excellent look. He's looking more like Roger every day. Not that he's actually related to him, but you know what I mean. Brooke has his classic outfit back, and thank God. Oh, you look so good, Brooke, in your original costume, based top hat and fancy scarf. God, he's beautiful. He's a wonderful creature. And the rest have ninja outfits. Whatever. I guess Sanji has his
Sanji
suit
has
back.
Black gloves.
He's looking good.
Chopper has a big old samurai hat.
Indeed. He's looking good. Brooke and Luffy ditched their samurai outfits, but for some reason Chopper is still wearing his. I guess he likes it more. It makes him feel tough. That's cool.
Yeah. So,
by the way, oh no, and in the back, oh god, oh, I see Carrot. Oh, anti-Carrot bros, we got too cocky. She's a straw hat, guys. I can't fight it any longer. No, let's not be delusional, folks. She's gonna fucking die, and I'm gonna laugh. It's gonna be really funny.
The only time you could get worried about her being a straw hat is if she continues to be with the crew after the point that, like, they, like, stop... currently going around with the
with tons of allies
with the Minx,
to do a thing
with the Minx
right,
specifically. Like if she goes off to be her own, like I'm gonna just sail the ocean and I'm gonna be an ally to then that after this, that's when that would happen.
Right. So I mean the substance here, we see all the guys. Robin's there, Chopper, Usopp, Frankie, all looking good. Nami, Zoro, etc.
Cloud
where
Boy.
Is everybody?
Cloud Boy as well. He's the real new straw
Oh
hat.
yeah, Zeus with his cool samurai hat. He's liking to be a straw hat these days. He's warming up. He gets a cool hat out of it. He never had a cool hat with Big Mom.
Yeah, Big Mom had the only hat that was cool. It was a real person.
That's true. Who had a sword inside him.
So basically, this is just sort of everyone is being shown, and while they're like, what's going on here? Where's all the ships? Where's all the people?
Let's do the rundown real quick. So there was supposed to be 3,500 men from the prisoner mines, 200 Yakuza, 200 from Inuarashi's firing squad, whatever the fuck that is. The Atamayama thieves. I think that's all of them. Total of, 4,200, aka 420-0. And all the weapons, of course. Nobody's here. That's no good. Where the fuck is everybody, guys?
And then Kinemon says, sorry, guys, we got pranked. Our plans were leaked to the enemy. And they're like, huh? And then the recently arrived ships from Kaido are also like, yeah, what the hell's going on?
Yep.
I don't know why they're saying that. But we failed to destroy...
They're surprised to see even Luffy. They're shocked that these guys are here as well, I think. Yeah.
It's like, this one, like, half... What is he? What are they called?
Bird?
I mean, half bird, but like the smile devil fruit people. I guess that's it. The smile man.
The pleasures, right? No. Gifters?
Grifters.
Headliners? Oh, God. I think
Grinders.
they're headliners, right? Okay. I think.
This guy is just Big Bird Morgan. But as a person.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't look so... There's not very big news going on this guy's face.
Fucking Oda. I mean, I don't blame. This is a common thing. But, like, the girl is like a sexy butterfly girl who I would definitely have sex with. And the man is like a disgusting, freakish, mongoloid bird monster. That's just how it goes. All right. Cool. I would have sex with that man and the bird as well. But I'd go in that cloaca. I would definitely explore his cloaca. But that's, that's a story for another time.
Yeah, so we couldn't destroy One Piece, Luffy and the gang, but we destroyed all the other ships. We destroyed the bridges. Everything's fucked up.
Yep.
And then Kinemon has the big rage face, like, Urgh. Careful.
He's seething. That's a virgin rage face, no doubt.
Careful, Kinemon. If you seethe for too long, you'll completely change your facial makeup and be someone else.
It's unironically true. He'll turn out to have been Jinbei all along. Well, I'm pretty sure that's how that works. And then
so the Kaido's guys are just saying, haha, you lose. All of the things that we know are currently true are happening. Mm-hmm. You have no allies, you have no friends, and by the way, the big mom pirates and the beast pirates have an alliance. That's just a cherry on top of the cake.
I've got to say, even if let's say theoretically, which may be true, the samurai here had put together enough of a force to theoretically defeat the beast pirates and the samurai who were allied with Orochi and all that stuff. Even in that situation, to then have at least Big Mom and her strongest crew members here, except, I don't know, I didn't see Katakuri, maybe not him, maybe still healing, like, that's gotta tip the scales. Do they really have enough to fight two emperors at the same time? This plan seems dubious at best, but they're, like, not that concerned about this development.
I mean, at this point, what can you do? Like, it's already a huge ask to beat Kaido with what you have.
But they literally doubled the challenge, which is not insubstantial. Two emperors, I mean,
the thing
I'd just
is,
be more worried, I guess.
Yeah, but like they were already going into this with like a high chance of like failure and death. Like nobody was like, "Oh, this is surely going to work. We're definitely going to win." Like they have to do it. This is the only time
These people have such a sunk cost fallacy operating in their heads. They should be smarter than all this.
They've been waiting for 20 years. They're ready to seppuku for the greater good.
Well, the scabbards I get are ready to like, okay, fuck it. We'll just do like a 9-man raid and like try to kill Kaido if we can with our small numbers. But like with all the allies there, you'd think they'd be a little bit more pragmatic. I mean, Luffy hasn't been waiting 20 years. But Luffy, you can't expect him to hold his punches.
Luffy will just enjoy punching. Like, the idea of punching more people sounds like fun. I mean,
that's true.
Kid and Law do a
narratively,
face.
Well, that's true. Narratively, I feel that Big Mom is here, among other reasons, so that Luffy can... Because earlier on, when he didn't have his advanced armament haki, he was totally defenseless against Big Mom. I can guarantee you there will be a moment where he's facing off against Big Mom, and his armament haki will now work, and he's able to, like, at least block her attack, or do that kind of shit. I'll bet my bottom dollar on it, but we'll see. We'll see. And that'll be used as the setup for then when he fights Kaido. Ooh, he's actually strong now. He can fight emperors and shit. Or something.
He can not instantly die to emperors.
Indeed, indeed. So there you go. Luffy, Law, and Kid say, "Oh, fuck you guys. Let's go give him a blast. Time for a triple Captain Punch." And isn't that a pretty cool scene? We've got the three guys, just like back in Shaboney Archipelago. That was like a decade ago for those of us reading the series back then. Bro, a side note, I've been seeing people being like, man, I joined at the beginning of Wano. It's so crazy how One Piece is now. Like, oh man, remember the humble beginnings during Wano at the beginning? And now things have gotten so crazy. Children. It's very amusing. Remember Whole Cake Island? That was like an eternity ago, bro. I can't even remember that far back. Just kill me. At this point, people who joined for the Marineford, the War of the Best, are considered like old fags. This is truly shocking to me. Okay, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter.
Like considered in what circles?
I guess it was in like a thread on V, I think the other day, or where the fuck was I? I don't know. I think I was on V, which those people are generally older, faggier kind of people. But I don't know.
I mean, I don't know anyway. Where the manga was when I started reading. And I started by watching
I know for me, it was Thriller Bark. I like, it was the very end of Enies Lobby into the beginning of Thriller Bark is where I started reading the series. I remember that very, very clearly. Which is a little bit late. I mean, that's chapter 400 maybe, 500, something like that.
Mine probably was pretty similar. Mm-hmm. But I started by watching
in my defense, I first found out about One Piece because of the 4Kids dub, of course. And then I just watched it as long as it existed. And then when it got canceled, I was like, oh, shit, I gotta figure some shit. Well, at a certain point, I was like, wait, you can watch them in Japanese? And there's like, the story has advanced beyond this? Whoa! What? But I'm pretty sure I only did that because 4Kids was like unreliable and whatever. Anyway, sorry, it's total side tangent. It's fun to reminisce at moments like this, which is a clear homage back to that moment when Luffy, Law, and Kid faced off against the Marines after Luffy punched a Tenryubito. And it's fun to reminisce that way back in those days, Oda thought that Kid was going to be the character who got like a lot of screen time and a lot of development, but it turned out to be Law. And so people liked Law. He gave Law lots of screen time. And we got, instead of a based red-pilled character, a shitty emo Sasuke character who I wish would go away. But we'll see how that happens now. At least he's getting a more reasonable amount of screen time now. Okay, in any case, big punch time. They do
their 3 big attacks. Punk Rotten, I don't think I've seen before. It looks cool.
Nope, we've never seen an attack name from him, I don't think.
Bound Man, so Luffy's going Gear 4th immediately. I don't know, has he got to the point where he can do Gear 4th without straining his body? Has he got to that point yet? Is it just one of those things?
There is a thing where he like, after he uses it to a time limit, he can't use it for, like, he can't use hockey for a while.
Like, it was maybe only just in Dressrosa. In Dressrosa, he brought it out, right? Mm-hmm. It was released, and that was correct. Like the very if he fails at killing Doflamingo with this Gear 4th, then he's like out for the count, and he'll need time to recharge.
He has to recharge.
So at this point, if he's got to the point where he can just do it, that's pretty cool. It's pretty quick as well. I mean,
I think Luffy could always just go Gear 4th for a moment and then revert back to like normal human size. I think that was more about when he uses the full time limit, he's like exhausted himself. But he's not really exhausting himself right now. He's just switching for like one attack. Is my guess anyway. I don't have evidence of that or anything.
Yeah. And then Law with Room, which is, just a thing.
Boring.
It's the same old thing. He makes a room. Yeah,
get a new attack, you hack.
Doom. Say Doom. That would be fucking epic.
That's a good one. Yeah. He's a very edgy boy. That would work.
Do like pulling the plug because he's a doctor. What's the word? What's the word for that?
Euthanasia?
Euthanasia, yeah. If he says euthanasia and he's like pulls the plug somehow for everyone in the room, that would be epic.
Hey, you know how it was teased or whatever? It was said that like Law's Devil Fruit has the super special unique power because he's the best character and everyone else sucks in One Piece. That he can like give his life to give someone eternal youth or whatever. He dies and someone else gets eternal youth. They should call that move euthanasia. Know what I'm saying?
Asia, because that's Japan.
Oh, I love Japan, period. Fantastic. Right. Anyway, they do a big slash and a big punch.
Yeah.
Everyone's mad.
They beat up the one ship, And then they're arguing amongst each other, like, I did more damage. No, look at the number that appeared above the enemy when I did my attack.
9999.
We all did 9999. Well, my 9999 was bigger than yours.
You know, this is cool. I wish we got a little more detail of exactly what, like, Kid's attack was like. But I guess he does what he always does. He has electromagnetic powers. Oh, actually, it was cool to see him, like, the way he jumped across to the other ship was he clearly is, like, using a magnetic pull to, like, pull himself across the way Luffy does with his arms.
Oh, yeah, the little electric.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. And so we're seeing a little bit more usage of his, like, electro powers or whatever. And so he gathers a bunch of weapons to himself and just does, like, a big Gear 3 type punch.
I really would like to see, like, imagine, I mean, Frankie would lose, but imagine, like, Frankie with his giant Shogun, like, battle armor thing, and then a Kid who just sort of, like, rips Frankie's robot apart with a punch, just, like, with all the metal, like, rumbling and buckling. That'd be so cool.
Do you think maybe Frankie was smart enough to make his machines, like, not...
out of wood?
Like, electro-resistant or, you know?
How could you do that? I mean,
there are okay. Actually, you know, there's this series called Get Backers. This totally other manga or whatever, anime, it doesn't matter. Where there's a guy who has like basically Kid's power of like electromagnetism, and there's another guy who he's like a very edgy boy, and he uses scalpels, but he like fills his body with scalpels. The first time they fight, that guy just uses his electromagnetic powers and like pulls all the scalpels. Like he just fucks up the guy because he's full of scalpels.
What a stupid idea.
Like, it was not a great idea, but normally it works out fine. This is not a good match. But the second time they fight, that guy has replaced all the scalpels
with Q-tips.
With like metal that is non-magnetic, like lead or something. I don't know.
Copper, I think.
Copper's magnetic. I think it's got a charge in there.
Brass. I'm thinking of brass, like trumpets. I always remember trying to put a magnet on a trumpet and it didn't work.
Oh really? Okay. There you go. Oh, maybe Wapole metal, because we know, I think Frankie has used Wapole metal for a bunch of stuff. Maybe that's not magnetic. I don't know. I'd love to see that fight, though. That'd be cool. Please give Kid, I don't need a full fight with Kid. I just need a couple of cool moments of Kid in this battle. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, Kid needs to have...
I will be satisfied.
I think instead of, like, full-on battles between people, there's going to be lots of moments where one person with their ability is, like, pivotal in changing the course of the battle in one area. You know what I would love? Like there's a big brawl happening, and then like somebody's about to get hit, and then Kid does a thing that only he could do that helps them, and it's like, yeah, everyone's working together.
Here's what I want to see. Here's what I would love to see. I want to see maybe Luffy is currently, he used Gear 4th, but he's exhausted. In like they're fighting against literally Kaido right now. He's exhausted and waiting, and so like the rest of the crew is all devastated, and they're like, "Oh my God, Luffy's recharging. What are we gonna do?" And then already battered and bruised, in a moment, just like the Kuma, like I will fight you one-on-one. Zoro moment from Thriller Bark. I want Kid to be the one to stand up and valiantly do a Vegeta-esque versus Majin Buu fight, just to stall for time while Luffy recovers, so that Luffy can do the final blow or whatever. Oh my God, please, Oda, please! Give Kid his moment. You gave fucking Law the longest flashback in the series, except for Luffy's. Give Kid a fucking moment to shine. I'm begging you. Please. I'm absolutely desperate. I just want Kid to be a cool guy and to get a little moment. He's been cucked and fucked so hard for so long. Now's the time.
If any moment is the moment, it's this battle, because I mean, his whole crew got fucked up. The whole reason he was like in prison was because he dared face off against Kaido. He's definitely gonna have a big moment.
God, I hope so. Oh, and we see some of his crew members in the background too, by the way.
Yeah, he got some of his crew back, or maybe all of his crew.
I'm very curious to see where. I wonder where Killer is right now. You know, I wonder is he doing any better? Is he incapacitated? I bet we'll see him during the battle at some point. Maybe he's just laughing it up, but I guarantee they will find a cure for the smile shit at the end of this arc. At least I would bet almost everything.
Oh, dude, wouldn't it be funny if, like, you know, they get a cure for the laughing smile fruit, then they give it to them, and then they continue laughing and smiling. It's like, wait, no, you don't have to smile anymore. It's like, I feel like smiling, like that moment from
like smiling,
like that fucking Simpsons episode.
That'd be sweet. Oh, and by the way, I was just gonna say, like, we have these hopes for Kid to, like, get a cool moment at last, and I think they're fairly likely, because that's the sort of thing that Oda's more likely to deliver on. But remember how we were saying, like, this is the arc, man. It's do or die for Chopper. This is Chopper's last chance at relevancy. The arc's almost over. There's been nothing for Chopper. But like I said, that was far less likely than Kid getting a cool moment. Oh, God, this is the Zoan arc. What are you doing, Oda? Okay, you know what? That's okay. Things are pretty good. Things are not bad. So let's see what else is going
Chopper
on. Oh, my
is
God.
Dead.
It's Kyoshiro. Kyoshiro showed up, you guys. The Beast Pirates are saved.
Yes, so he says, hello, it's me. And all right, they say, hey, kill the enemies. And he's like, oh, you want me to kill the enemies?
Lol. Ooh,
lol,
epic.
I'll do exactly what that is. And he attacks the Beast Pirates. He chops off their cannons.
Shit.
That was his excuse in the moment.
Whoops.
And then he says to the Red Scabbards, I am Yakuza, I am napping Kyoshiro. I want to join your crew. Can I join your army, please?
Oh, I've got 200 men. Yay. Oh, isn't that nice?
And then he does the explanation of that he is Denjiro. He says a story that only Denjiro would know, and Kinemon's like, wait a minute. Huh? It's him. There he is.
Isn't that nice? You know, I like this. I believe I said this at the time. Remember how I was complaining during the Odin flashback? How, like, nobody talked, or, like, it was never stated that the whole, like, Mountain God incident was not Odin's fault. Like, of course you would say something about it to people. And we concluded that it was fairly reasonable that to, like, not bring it up or anything. Even though I thought it was a little silly, but One Piece does things like that sometimes. But here, there is in fact a payoff to that decision, because that story is used right here narratively as like the only thing that Denjiro would know. I mean, there probably were other secrets too, but it's used narratively as a thing that only Denjiro would know to prove, despite him looking totally different, that he is in fact Denjiro, and that's pretty cool. I thought that was it was nicely done.
Yeah,
I actually know what the fuck's going on, and that's like a pretty good reason to believe that it's Denjiro, because nobody else would know that shit.
And yeah, it's a good, interesting, like, explanation for this character in general. Because you're always thinking, like, if he's on their side secretly, why is he doing all these bad things? Why is he the enemy? But he deliberately kept himself on the good side of Orochi and everything, because he knew that there was a traitor in the midst of the Red Scabbards. And now that they've, like, shown their hand, Kanjuro has explained that he is the bad guy, he can flip the table.
You know, there was no reason for him to, like, assume that there was a traitor. Like, they didn't know that, like, 20 years ago.
They did, though, because, like, there was the moments where, with Odin, that, you know, Kaido was informed of where they would be, and he intercepted them.
Oh,
it's like,
wait, you're right.
Who
That's
like,
true.
Even back then, there were, like, questions of who told him? How did this information get out? And this whole time, Kanjuro's
You're right,
been
there
acting.
were hints. That's very true.
So it's
okay,
like,
well, shit. I mean, Denjiro was always, like, a cautious, smart kind of guy, and he really took that to the nth degree and really played it safe, and he was absolutely right to do so. Yeah, that makes perfect logical sense. Good work, Denjiro. It's pretty smart.
Yeah. So he got all of the samurai trapped in the prison that we were like, oh, how are they going to get out? Well,
we were wondering, what about those guys? Denjiro brought those guys. Remember that guy with, like, the bowl cut? There he is. He's here.
There he fucking is.
Oh, fantastic. Way to go, dude.
So we got all of those guys. We got the Yakuza, and we got him. And they've all set up to join, and that is very cool. And then, there is a twist. There is a twist a little bit on... I mean, this is really funny. He says... Denjiro says to Kinemon, it was very sharp of you to notice that Yasue altered the code, the little image of the birds and the viper. He gave them the little things. And there was, like... It was a bit confusing to me, honestly, reading it. But basically...
I read it twice, but I get it now.
Yeah, basically, the alteration has two possible interpretations of what it could mean. And Kinemon, correctly, asserts Denjiro, said to the Red Scabbards, everyone around him, that it was actually to go to Port Tokage, which was incorrect.
Because the two lines would make the snake look like a lizard, which is Tokage means lizard, so that was one interpretation.
That was one interpretation. The other interpretation is that to erase the belly of the snake, cut out the middle. If you cut out the middle, like, characters of the word, it would become Hatto, which is a different place. And
it's a wharf, specifically. Wharf.
So everyone else involved saw this thing, and they thought, oh yes, Hatto. And then they went to hide in the wharf, and they actually came here earlier. They crossed the bridges earlier. This is the part I don't really understand, about how Hatto made them come earlier and like cross the bridges and then ride out to sea on their ships before other ships could be destroyed.
Well, this isn't the place they're at right now is not where. Wait, it isn't where they built the ships, is it? They built the ships elsewhere and were sailing them down here. So they just didn't actually sail them here. They sailed them, or is it? I can't fucking remember about that particular detail. I don't know why they were there early. They just left a little early, but they went to like a different location than this place. They went to the wharf, not to.
Well, yeah, there's a thing here. Orochi misjudged the distance between the various cities of Wano. The enemies made their move last night, but by that time it was already too late. So yeah, Kaido made his move last night, but everybody had already crossed the Great Bridges, and the ships. The whatever.
They were already afloat with all the folks.
They were already afloat. Mm-hmm. And the point is that Kanjuro got his information from Kinemon, and Kinemon, Denjiro assumes Kinemon was smart in saying the wrong thing to his friends and saying the right thing to everyone else, or like, letting them figure it out.
Yep.
So what it results in is that everybody, like none of the ships were destroyed, none of the people didn't make it, everyone made it, everyone's on the ships, and everyone's here, and there's a giant...
Well, the reason that there was ship wreckage is because ships that were unnecessary were still there, because they just made too many ships, and they were destroyed. And that's okay, because they already were on board, and it didn't matter either way. They were already ahead of the curve, so way to go, guys.
Yeah, so like they appeared at this exact moment, and it's like, everyone's here, and it's so fucking sick, and the raid on Onigashima will proceed as planned. And then, Denjiro's saying...
And now they had 420-0. Now they have 540-0. 5,400 total men with Denjiro's expertise and brilliant maneuvering. Way to go, guys.
Yeah, so, as expected of our leader, Kinemon, you are definitely worthy of my respect. And then Kanjuro's seething.
Everyone's really impressed.
He's like, oh, how could Kinemon have tricked me so well? And then Kinemon's standing there like, oh, yeah, I meant to do that.
Whoops. That was totally on purpose.
He just was dumb and didn't get it, but it worked out. That's pretty One Piece.
That's because, Kinemon was never really, like, suggested to be, like, such a brilliant guy, like, such an intellectual or tactical mastermind. So this really lands well, as everyone's, like, puffing him up. It's like, oh, you're so smart, you're so good. No, it was just an accident. And that's perfect One Piece stuff. You could be like, oh, what, they're gonna win due to pure coincidence and luck? Oh, whatever. It's fucking hilarious.
It's not even a coincidence. It's just so
right.
happens that Kanjuro was getting his information from someone who is a little dim. He made a big mistake, and that is what won them the day. It's really funny.
Oh, Kinemon.
I love his stoic yet, like you can see like the embarrassment in his eyes. Like,
it's good stuff. Yep. So that's pretty much it. He made a goof, but everything worked out okay. We see Boss Hyogoro's there, the Yakuza guys, Denjiro, the guys who were trapped in that fucking jailhouse. Everybody's here. Luffy and the gang. It's time for a big ol' whatever the fuck.
It's a time for a fucking sea battle. It's time to kill everyone.
It's time. And by the way, I wonder if this will give them the upper hand because Orochi thinks that they've all been killed and destroyed, and Kinemon or Kaido won't expect them now. They probably won't be that naive. They'll probably expect at least some attack or whatever. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I feel like Orochi is the kind to be pointlessly naive. When he gets information.
Yes. But not Kaido. I mean, he's a fairly
Kaido would be like,
guy.
Well, Kaido wouldn't be worried even if they were coming. He'd be like, yeah, lol.
Might do some,
whatever.
He'd have some lookouts or something.
I'll just squack him. I'll smash him with my big hands.
That's true. He definitely will do that. I guess that's pretty much it. The raid is back on, and it's time to go. We're better off even than we thought we were. and all the forces are here. It's time to go. So I don't know. Maybe next chapter will like the literal raid begins as they are headed to the island or whatever.
All right, so let's think.
See where it goes.
We've got all of these guys with the thousands upon thousands of samurai, Wano citizens of various ilks, and then we got the samurai and all that. We got the Straw Hats. We got the Kid Pirates. We got the Heart Pirates.
Yep.
We have
Yakuza.
We got all those guys. But on the opposing team, we have Scratchman Apu. We've got
Basil Hawkins. DX Drake, kind of, but not really, because he's actually on their side, or the
DX Drake,
side.
We know is a Marine, so he's not looking to be on their side. He's just doing something. Did we come to the conclusion that DX Drake was the one who set Law free?
I think so, but I can't remember exactly. I think that was the implication.
Who else could it have been?
We were thinking it could have been somebody else. I don't know offhand.
Yeah. So
you know what? Who might have been? It might have been literally Denjiro. Like, who was the man with the biggest secret besides DX Drake? It was Denjiro. So I think it was
we were thinking
one of those
maybe
two.
it was him, but there was like bits of his like boot that looked like it could be.
We were analyzing the boots and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it looked like it wasn't Drake. Was my conclusion. I thought it was likely someone else. I think even at the time we said it might have been Kyoshiro, because obviously something was going on with that guy. That's my guess. Like, the way that Law said, like, it's like, ooh, it's you. Like, this sure is a secret you've got or something. That's my guess.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It probably hasn't been confirmed.
So,
exactly as of yet.
They've got the General Kaido Beast Pirates. Excuse me. They got the giant beast people that we don't know much about.
Those are the X Factor, I think. We haven't seen those, but I think those are being set up to be the big boy. Oh, and by the way, let's not forget, remember how we were all desperately clamoring for the Zoro sword fight? Our guy, Kyoshiro, who we thought was going to fight Zoro, is now a good guy. There's no one left. There are no swordsmen left for Zoro to have his epic swordsman duel with, unless they introduce somebody, which they well might, but maybe it'll be like King. Maybe King. That's too strong, though. I mean, that's like a Luffy-level opponent.
It is kind of, yeah. Like, King is probably more stronger than Katakuri, I would assume.
Yeah, probably.
Speaking
I'm a little concerned. I don't know.
Speaking of, we don't know where Katakuri is, but we do know that the Big Mom's ship with the Big Mom pirates is
most of the big boys,
somewhere around. I don't think they've made it to Onigashima yet, have they?
No. Well, last time we saw Big Mom. Okay, you might be right about the ship. We know that Big Mom is with Kaido right now.
Big Mom fell off the ship, and then she wound up with no memories, and then she did all the stuff. And
joined up eventually with Kaido.
Queen bopped her on the head. She remembered who she was. Blah, blah.
Will the rest of the crew be there? I guess that's a fair question. We don't know for sure. It's been like weeks since then, so you would think so.
You would think. But they could show up at some random moment.
That's true. Are you ready for Jinbei to show up and save the day? Are you ready for that?
I'm ready for Jinbei to show up. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing. In fact, I welcome it. I want all of the people to be here. I want the fucking Whitebeard pirates to come out of nowhere.
At this point, with the situation being what it is, I mean, yeah, I have no choice but to want him to finally show up and do something as a member of the Straw Hats. So, which I think is inevitable during the battle.
We get Kaido down to like 1 HP, but they're all out of stamina, and then Jinbei comes in and pushes Kaido down, and he shatters into a million pieces.
Yeah, that'll be epic.
He gets all the coins, like the arcade coins.
And don't forget, with all the time that's passed, arcade coins, lol, epic. Get the high score. He'll hit him in his sweet spot. He'll get the triple, double decker point.
Hit Kaido in his G spot.
No. Hit him in his D spot. Wheel of D. Ooh, that's sex.
Kai-D-O.
Marco's going to show up with Nekomamushi, and they're going to save the day.
They're going to do something.
They got it.
Is there anyone else, any other of the strongest generation or the worst generation, whatever they're called?
Maybe there'll be like a weird Blackbeard wrench thrown in the thing where like one of his captains shows up and does something fucked, because that seems to be their MO. I don't know. Just a total aside. Something unexpected will happen, I bet. Maybe Rocks Pirates related things will happen here. I would expect, because that's been built up.
Well, I mean,
Big Mom and Kaido are already Rocks
Here's a thing
boys,
that I don't think we've really considered. DS Drake, Marine, confirmed, talking to the Marines. The Rocks Pirate's coming back. Once he gets that information, I think he's already got that information. He maybe have said it to someone. The Marines could show up to stop the Rocks Pirates. Garp could be here.
Well, that's theoretically possible, but don't forget, Wano is a non-government, a world government-affiliated country, and the Marines, like, are not welcome here, and the only way to get in is either you ride the Koi up like Luffy and the gang did, and Big Mom Pirates and stuff, or you, like, are invited in by the Kaido Pirates because they control the lift in the center of the country or whatever. So that's possible, but I wouldn't expect, like, anything more than, like, a ship or two with maybe
Green
some strong
Bull
people
could
on
jump out from the sky.
That's true. That's true. Although we last saw him at Reverie fighting Sabo and the gang, I think. So I guess we'll see.
I mean,
I'd be surprised to see those folks.
You can't have everyone, but like I'm trying to think of people who could be here that to shape things up. There's Marco,
certainly,
and then there's
there were enough players here. Oda doesn't have to add those things, but I'm sure there will be some surprises. Even if it's just Jinbei and Marco showing up at critical moments to do something.
I would be so fucking shocked if the Straw Hats get fights.
Killed.
Like, imagine if Nami gets a fight. Like, what the fuck? That would never happen.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna. There's no chance.
Would Robin get a fight? She had something to do earlier, but it wasn't.
Bro,
it didn't really amount to much.
I would love that. I would love it if there were like now's the time for One Piece to kind of just for the battle become like it was during Enies Lobby or Alabasta with cool one-on-one fights in like sections of the palace. That definitely could happen, but it will not happen. I have zero faith, zero hope because we've got too much to do. There are too many characters. The Straw Hats are literally been there and done that in the minds of the readers and Oda. Even though we all know we want them to have more. That's how I feel. That's how I feel the story is now.
All right, what I would not like, regardless, it's going to be epic and it's going to be really cool. So I'm not going to be like disappointed and sad. There's too many good things that will happen. There's also so many good things that won't happen, but whatever. It's not going to be like an overall disappointment. But one thing I don't want it to be is a running simulator where they just run as a big group. Like, oh, we got to go here. Punk Hazard was a whole lot of running around, and I don't know.
That sucked.
It just felt like there was just constant running and being in a crowd and running in a crowd.
In that,
and it was just.
Well, I wanted to be an environmental thing going on there with the poison, which obviously isn't here, so it'll be a little different than that.
Yeah, but I want it to be more of an Enies Lobby where there's like instead of running around and escaping from things, they're sort of pushing forward, stealthily at first. Like it's a raid. Like there's going to be.
It's a classic shonen trope. This happened in I remember it clearly in Yu Yu Hakusho. In Naruto, this happened during the Sasuke retrieval arc, where what happens is you've got your main group, and this could definitely work for Wano, and I hope they literally do this. It's a classic shonen maneuver, where you've got your group. It's kind of weird because the group is too big now, but whatever. They're raiding a place, and what happens is we've been introduced to the commanders of the bad guy. He's got his squad of 8 guys, like CP9 or something. And what happens is the group is pressing on towards the ultimate goal. And what happens is one of the members, they're attacked by one of the guys, and one of our team says, "You guys keep going. I'll take care of this guy." The rest of the group goes, and we get a sick one-on-one fight with that character and that enemy. That's what I want that to happen, but it won't. I don't think it'll happen. Times have changed for One Piece. There's too many fucking characters.
It might happen for some of the characters.
Zoro needs a one-on-one. If no one else, Zoro needs a one-on-one with a samurai. Please. God. Now. Do it.
It is kind of weird that now there is no enemy samurai at all, as that I can think of.
Oda could introduce one, but it sure would be fucking late in the game to do that as they're doing the raid. Remember Kaku? We met him way early, and then his fighting... I mean, he wasn't introduced as a swordsman, but we did see his proficiency with, cutting knives for, as a shipwright, and then he's revealed to be, a CP9 guy, and we're like, oh my god, he's so strong. And then Zoro, at the end of the arc, gets a big ultimate battle with him that was incredibly satisfying and everybody loves, with his crazy giraffe power. It was so fucking cool. But there's nobody like that on the... I mean, the big monsters, the silhouette guys, maybe they'll be cool. Maybe it'll be King. I don't know. I mean, I could handle Luffy goes to fight Kaido with a bunch of people while Zoro fights King, who's revealed to be a swordsman. I wouldn't hate that. It would be a little weird for Zoro to be able to defeat that guy, considering, he's probably a lot stronger than Zoro. But, I don't know.
What if
Maybe
Zoro, what if it's Zoro versus Jack?
Jack's a cuck. No. Wait.
Off.
Bro, listen to this. We got Zoro and Kinemon versus King, because King is a fireman, and Kinemon can cut fire, but he hasn't done so for a million fucking chapters. Now's his time to actually do something cool and team up with Zoro. He could be the defense guy.
Then it's more of a Kinemon fight where Zoro's hanging on at the edge, at the side. Doesn't quite work.
I don't know. I guess just as an experiment, one more time. Like, who are the notable fighters on Kaido's side? We know that we've got a million on our side. We've got Basil Hawkins, I guess. Maybe D.A. Drake if he's still fighting with him. We know he's a Marine, but whatever. Kaido, obviously. Big Mom, at least, of course.
King, Queen, and
Jack.
If the Big Mom pirates are there, then there's Prospero and Smoothie and
if the Big Mom pirates are there, then of course that whole crew, which we all know and love.
Scratchman Apu, I think you just said.
Scratchman Apu, yep. I can't.
Orochi himself.
Orochi, yeah, Orochi. He would have had Kanjuro, but Kanjuro's defected and is now on our side.
Are there any? Oh, the ninjas. The ninjas. Orochi's ninjas.
The ninjas people who individually are fairly uninteresting because they haven't been given any spotlight. But as a group, yes, we do know those guys, and they will probably do some stuff. Really, the one who stands out the most is the guy with the head. Like, all the others have gotten, like, maybe one line each about, I'm gonna kill you now with my ninja attack. But that guy is, like, an actual character.
There is that one thing, I don't know whether they'd be there, but it's a banquet, so, like, you don't know who's gonna be invited.
True.
The world government, or, no, CP0 people who Orochi was doing dealings with. There's potential for someone from that side of the world to be there.
Why was he doing deal? I don't remember that.
He was doing some sort of like, it's like the world government is not supposed to have dealings with Wano, but Orochi is like selling weapons anyway, or selling metal.
I can believe that
with his factories. Yeah. Those are a conversation I remember. I don't know exactly.
Something could come of that. Something could happen here that's involved with that. That'd be pretty epic. I mean, okay, but I think that's pretty much it. So I guess I'll say I'm a little worried about having like enough cool. I really think this fight is going to be like I'm set up for a little bit of disappointment here. I'm not convinced Zoro's going to get like an epic one-on-one fight the way he deserves and we all want, because they haven't set up anyone to serve that role. And I don't know, what's some fucking random gifter gonna turn up and be the guy he fights is one of those big monsters. Zoro versus big monster, man? That's like Zoro versus Pika. Unsatisfying.
Well, if you remember Eni's lobby, we had the 4 or 5 CP9 members we knew. Right. And they went on the train and they were there. But then once we got there were like 3 completely new ones that were introduced right before they started fighting.
That's true.
So that could definitely still happen. Like, higher level members of Kaido's crew could be introduced when we get to Onigashima. At the banquet or whatever.
You know what? That's a fair point. Because I bet Onigashima is going to go on for a pretty good long while. I forget exactly how long Eni's lobby was. Not Water 7, but Eni's lobby specifically. Yeah, that's a fair point. I guess it's not too late. I shouldn't be too pessimistic about that. But I still do kind of feel, because there's a fairly big lack of, considering how many protagonists we know like by name and stuff, there's a much fewer enemies on the enemy side. I think things are really going to be focused on like Big Mom / Kaido specifically, and then maybe like King, Jack, and Queen will get some cool stuff, which isn't terrible, but you always like to have a couple more sick fights, one-on-one cool things. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I feel like there's going to be.
I think we're going to have more of like everyone gets a moment as opposed to a fight to do something cool.
Here's my guess: is that since there's thousands of samurai on the good guy team, They're all going to be using swords, and so, to fight them, there's probably going to be a new character who is the super samurai, the enemy samurai, dark samurai man, and Zoro will be the only one who can beat him.
That's fine, and I literally hope that happens. That sounds good. I just wish they had introduced that guy earlier, if that happens, because it seems like there was plenty of time to do so, to even reference his existence.
Do you really think there was plenty of time? I mean, there was so much introducing of everything else that was happening throughout the entirety of Wano.
Yes. There's never an excuse for failing to capitalize.
I feel like
I don't care how dense One Piece is. Make space, add chapters. You can do that as much as you want. Wano was not too long, not really. So there was space. There was space, I think. You can always make something better. I'm just saying One Piece could be better in some ways, basically, which I think everyone reasonable would agree to. By the way, on the front of this, just for fun, I've referenced this a few times. I actually pulled up the numbers for it. So we've got 5,400 of our troops, plus maybe a couple miscellaneous. I'm not sure if the Straw Hats count among that or whatever. Versus however many Kaido forces plus the samurai who work under Orochi. I don't know how many that is. But we're talking in maybe the tens of thousands battle kind of range. Just for fun, I went back and actually looked up the project or the Operation Utopia, Crocodile's plan to create civil war in Alabasta and see what the numbers were. So just for fun, early-ish in that battle, there was stated to be 300,000 royal soldiers versus 700,000 rebels. Okay, that's early on. And then, during the final battle, the royal soldiers are still at 300,000, and then one of the guys, Chaka, says that there are 2 million angry warriors attacking the city. So I'm just saying, it's obviously samurai, maybe each of those is more powerful than 1,000 regular fodder. I don't know. But it's really funny to see the difference in scale between these two fights. But that's okay. Those were like recruits. But there were 300,000 royal soldiers. Oh, and by the way, originally there were 600,000 royal soldiers, but half of them defected to the rabble or whatever. So, man, imagine your fucking military having 600,000 guys, and the fucking samurai can barely get together 5,000 people.
All right, even, forgetting, numbers compared to other things in One Piece, how do you feed millions upon millions of people
in a fucking desert of Alabasta?
Where's the farms at? What are you doing? You just fishing?
It's not. And remember how, everything about Alabasta was about water shortages and how everyone was dying of thirst and shit? I mean, they didn't bother us with the logistical side of things, which, you know what, for One Piece is understandable. They just figured it out. They did that off screen. They got food and water for them and weapons and stuff.
I really wonder. I'm just gonna Google the population of Egypt.
Sure. I'm gonna guess. I don't know, 5 million, 10 million. I don't know.
Oh, it's 97 million. I mean,
97 million. Okay. Well, Jesus Christ. And I think the population of Japan is something like 40 million, 50 million,
in the 60s. In the 60s, it was 27 million. So it's
holy shit! They're breeding like rabbits over there. Control yourselves, guys.
So when Oda, being countries are big, but Alabasta never felt that big.
So, yeah, that's the thing. It was proportional. I feel like at that time, Oda was thinking more about like a real country in the real world. Even though the islands in One Piece are actually far smaller than actual countries. Alabasta, I don't think was, but since Wano is definitely way smaller than actual Japan. So it makes sense for things to be scaled down for various reasons. So. It's just a funny thing. It's kind of a growing pain of One Piece. I think that these numbers change so dramatically. I think it maybe would be I kind of went a little overboard with the 2 million warriors attacking the city, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not blaming the guy. In any case, that's it for this chapter, folks. It was an off chapter this month. There was no chapter next week, aka this week. So we will see it next week with the continuation of our epic story and the raid on Onigashima to dethrone Kaido and Orochi. We'll see how that goes. Oh, and I still want the Orochi versus Momo fight. I think that's going to happen, and I want it to, because that'd be totally sick. Dragon versus Hydra. Fucking sick. So, if you want to support the show, how about heading over on to patreon.com/thepodcastpirates and giving us a buckaroo or $1 or $2 to support the show and keep us doing this. And by doing so, you can join the crew and be a colored boy in our Discord, which you can join for free by clicking the link down below and talking about One Piece with us all the damn time. Active place, lots of theory, fuckery, and we're just hacks. We suck Otis cock all day in there. Oh, it's great. It's where you want to be. It's the premier experience. And that's it. Oh, and of course, follow us on Twitter at Poddcast, the Poddcast. No, sorry.
Podcast Ahoy.
Poddcast Ahoy. That's right. At Poddcast Ahoy. Links in the description. That's where we'll retweet things and all kinds of updates and stuff. Okay, that's it. We'll see you next week, everybody. Have a beautiful week. Enjoy being quarantined with the rest of us. I'm loving my life.
We're all quarantined out on the open seas.
Oh, it feels good. It's no better place to be quarantined than under the sea, where I live now. All right, see you soon, everybody. Take it easy. Bye.
Goodbye.